Welcome to MBA 523 Investment Theory and Practice. My name is Srini. I'll be the instructor for this course. So this is the welcome video. So welcome all of you to MBA 523. So what I want to do here is to give you an idea as to what the course is going to be about and some details in terms of how the course will proceed through the semester. So you can think of this as, in some sense, a broad overview of what the course is going to be like. So what is the course about? It's partly about training to become an investment professional. So that means someone who's going to apply all these principles professionally on the job. And partly it's going to be about investor education, because all of us, all of you, are going to become investors at some point of time or the other, whether you like it or not. You're going to earn some money once you start working, so you're going to be investing that money, whether it is keeping it in your bank account or whether you're investing in a mutual fund or whatever. So all of us are going to be investing some money. So the moment anyone has any money, so they are going to have to make some investment decision, and sometimes they may just make it by default, but hopefully the kind of things we learn here in the class, that will give you a good overview of what are some of the aspects involved before we can make good investment decisions. So for investment professionals, obviously all 5 modules in the course are going to be relevant. So we are going to look at the investing environment. We'll make sure we get a good grounding in the risk-return trade-off. You've seen some of this in our MBA 520, but we'll go into that in a lot more depth in this class. And then once we have a good understanding of the risk-return trade-off, we'll use this as the basis for assessing investment performance. Our focus is going to be on assessing the investment performance of managed portfolios or mutual funds, hedge funds, investments like that. We'll also spend some time on asset valuation, but the focus is going to be on bond valuation and options. We are not going to look at equity valuation because we have a separate course that deals entirely with equity valuation, that is MBA 524. And then once we have a good handle on this asset valuation, we'll go ahead and then see what are some of the commonly used fixed income investment strategies. We'll see how we can use derivatives such as options to do risk management. For example, if you want to insure your portfolio against losses, how could you do that? So all of these things, as you can see, are going to be relevant for someone who's going to become an investment professional in the future. Now, if our main objective is basically that, hey, I'm just interested in investments, I know it's going to be useful for me in the future, but I'm not planning to become an investment professional. I hope a whole lot of you are actually planning to do that, because that's a fun field to get into. But even if you're not, you will still benefit quite a bit from the course, from making sure that we understand the investment environment. We can see what's the risk-return trade-off. We can go ahead and see how to assess the performance of whatever investments we make. And then we'll also go ahead and do a project in the class where we'll understand the impact of all of these investment decisions on the long-term health of our portfolio, which is useful if, for example, you're planning for your retirement. Okay, so everyone is going to be planning for retirement. So these are things that are going to be useful for everyone. So what are some of the specific things we'll learn about? So in module 1, we're going to look at the investing environment. So we're going to look at the investment process. We'll look at asset allocation. We'll get very briefly into security selection, but not into a whole lot of detail. And then we'll make sure we understand what is market efficiency, okay, and how the implication that has for the type of portfolio strategies you can go ahead and use. Or do you want to use active management, or do you want to invest passively in an index fund, for example? And we'll also see what kind of order types you can place if you want to go ahead and buy, what is involved in short selling, what is involved in margin trading, all the trading policies. So we'll get into some of these common investing environment details so that you have a good background before we delve further into investments. So from this description, you can kind of guess that in this module 1, it's mainly going to be facts, all right, knowledge of facts. So it's not going to be something overly technical. But then once we get into the risk return relation and the asset allocation decisions, which is in module 2, that's going to build upon what we've done in MBA 520. So we are going to go ahead and see how investors can allocate their assets between risk-free and risky securities, what kind of decisions are involved, how you can optimize your portfolio, all those things. Once we have a good handle on that, then we will go ahead and see how we can use this information about the risk return trade-off, to go ahead and assess the performance of asset managers of mutual funds. We'll go ahead and see what is the abnormal return, what is the expected return, what is involved in event studies, for example. So all of these things will become more familiar as we go along. But to give you a simple example, for example, it's quite possible that people might say, hey, Apple went ahead and did a 4-for-1 stock split. If you go ahead and just Google for it, you will see that it was in the news in the recent past. What impact does it have on the, or what impact do you expect it will have on the performance of Apple stock, if at all? And could that go ahead and help us make investment decisions? Okay. So those are some of the things that we'll study when we look at module 3. Then we'll pivot over to fixed income. Fixed income is basically a long form for just bonds. Okay. So we'll see how bonds are priced, what is duration, what is convexity, how can we assess the interest rate risk in a bond portfolio, and some of the commonly used strategies in bond portfolio management. And then in the last module, we'll go ahead and look at options. So we'll look at this in quite a bit of detail. We'll see how to value these options. So we look at the binomial option pricing models. We look at the Black-Scholes model. We'll see some of these option strategies that people can use. And then once we have a good handle on options, then we'll see how we can use that to basically insure our portfolio against losses. So think of it as a risk management strategy. Now, how should we proceed through this semester? So it helps if you have a weekly schedule and follow it regularly. So the class, let us say the class meets on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you might want to go ahead and do this on a Thursday or Friday before the upcoming week. So on the Thursday or Friday before the upcoming week, go over the syllabus so you will know what is going to be covered during the forthcoming week, during the Tuesday, Thursday. Typically, it will be about one chapter a week. Okay. And then you should check the reading homework and the homework due date section on Moodle. So there I'll be listing what are the different homeworks and the readings that are due. So you can make sure that you can allocate your time, you can plan your work accordingly. And then make sure that you read the assigned material and complete the homework and projects by the due date. Do make sure that you note all the due dates on a calendar, so no late submissions will be accepted, so you don't want to lose points. So make sure that you keep track of the due dates. If there are any quizzes, I just call them ICEs, the in-class exercises, or tests, make sure you set aside some time to go ahead and prepare for the tests. If you know that your project is going to be due a few weeks from now, put it on your schedule so you can go ahead and start working on your projects. So the basic idea is to go ahead and make sure that you follow a very regular schedule. What this will do is this will make sure that you don't fall behind in the course. Okay? Now, this is something that is extremely important. It's quite possible that a lot of the stuff that we're going to do in class, it's going to be new to virtually all of you. Some of them could end up being a little bit technical. So if there is something that you don't understand, let it be from this week or the forthcoming week or something from the past, anything, if you did not understand something, you should post your questions on Moodle, or you should ask questions during the regular office hours. Again, the basic notion that you should have is that you should not fall behind in the course, because if you fall behind too much, it's not going to be easy to catch up, because the subsequent material will build upon the earlier material. So if you don't understand the earlier material, or you're not kept up to speed, then it's going to be harder for you to follow what's going on, and that's going to put you even further behind, which you don't want to happen. Okay, so make sure that you follow this regular schedule. So by the start of the semester, what are some of the things that I want you to do? So make sure you see this welcome video. So if you've come this far, then that's good. That's a good thing. You already started with item 1 on the list of things to do. So you're seeing this welcome video. So you should make sure that you read the welcome note on Moodle. It's posted just above the syllabus. Make sure you read the syllabus. Make sure you're familiar with what is on there. You should register for the course section on Connect, because the ebook with Connect is required for the class. That's where you're going to have all of your readings and homeworks and some of the quizzes, exams, and all those things. So Connect is required. You will need it. Registration details are posted on Moodle, so make sure you go ahead and register for the course before the semester actually starts, before the first class. You should also go ahead, so once you go ahead and register for Connect, there'll be well, I think it's probably the first item on Connect. I say please see these intro videos first. Okay, so make sure you spend some time going through those intro videos on Connect. So they have a fair amount of videos which will guide you through what is Connect, what are the different components of Connect, how can you navigate through their website, what is a smart book, how can you use the smart book to do your readings, and so on. So it's very useful. So just spend some time before the semester starts going through these intro videos. Now I've sent a few emails already through Moodle. If you've already read it, well and good. But in case for whatever reason you've not been able to read them, make sure that you look in your inbox and read these emails. They were sent out on July 17th and July 28th. If for whatever reason you're unable to locate them, these emails were sent via announcements on Moodle. So when you log into Moodle, you will also see these emails as part of the announcements. Now, in the email that I sent out on July 28th, I had asked you to email me some information. It's basically generic information in terms of, what is it that you want to study in the course, what are some of the things that you would like to do, your familiarity with some of the basic concepts from MBA 520, and so on. So make sure that you read this email and then go ahead and send me an email with all of the requested information, preferably by the start of class, first class. Okay. So if you've gone ahead and come until this level, this stage on the video, that's really good, because you've already made a head start. And then we'll start in the first class with chapter 1. All right. Look forward to seeing all of you. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me or post it on Moodle. All right. So see you all in the first class. Bye.